Well, hello there, ladies and gents. This is another casual cast, except this time it is a 2 versus 2. So with any luck, the players will actually finish selecting reasonably quickly. Now, while we do that, I will just say that in orange we have Sneaky Prawn and Gargoyle, and Gigi and Andorath on black. So let's go in straight away and delete the commander so we can see where these two teams have spawned. They have both spawned relatively close in, the black team have in any case, going for exploiting the metal sites in the nearby region right here. Over orange team on this peninsula over here, they've also got a reasonable number of metal sites, only at the beginning though, and going straight for a factory there with 2 energy. An unusual build, but at least they can get out their fabricators rather rapidly indeed. Just looking in the surrounding area of Orange Base, they will have to expand to this choke point here and this choke point here. I mean, they've chosen a harder place to defend because of the amphibious nature of some of the tanks at the moment, but if they can pull it off, they have got a reasonable supply of metal, especially in secondary expansion sites, although these secondary expansion sites will be contested by the black team, whose commanders are now using typical build, except they are going for 2 factories simultaneously. Now let me just establish which commander is whose. And hopefully they will reply, maybe not, but you never know. Other than that, while we look at this, they're going straight for metal storage, which is something I don't see very often. I rather see expansions going around quite rapidly in terms of metal sites rather than the storage. Maybe while one person is expanding to the metal sites, the other person is doing storage, although they are going straight for an advanced vehicle factory while building some fabricators over here. Now that is a very interesting opening gambit. As I said here, Orange has to expand to these metal sites, and they are doing so rapidly. But they are also going for this naval factory here. I mean, we do have a substantial body of water on this map, so they will hope to exploit that as best as possible. Although the disadvantage is, because they haven't scouted yet, they do not realise that this body of water does not reach the black base unless they start expanding towards it, which is always possible with these larger metal sites over here. Secondary to that, we've got the commanders now expanding to mech sites on black. Continuing to build this is going to put a little bit of strain on their early econ, but especially if they're going to continue to build with fabricators on all sorts of angles, because they will be going metal in all corners by the look of it, and this fabricator here assisting, which is going to make things a little bit harder. These scouts here have now found where Orange is, so black can now take that into account, realise, okay, I need to defend my eastern front now, although, you know, not laying off too much on the western front, but certainly the eastern and southernmost fronts near their base are going to want to have the most protection, especially given the advanced bot factory going up now. So both teams seem to be going for early advanced factories here, which is something I have to say I don't see very often, including energy storage, and that is definitely something I very rarely see, especially in the higher level of games that I've recently been casting. Now this commander wandering down here, maybe going to assist in taking some of these metal points, or maybe even building some point defense early on. And they're going to try and make use of these submarines. I believe that is a fabrication sub, this is correct. I'm not quite sure what they plan on doing with it. Maybe getting an advanced naval factory, maybe getting some other floating buildings, but it'll be interesting to see. Over here we've got some spinners. So those will be taking out any form of air that black team might use, except they are not going for air, so this is the wrong sort of build. This is why scouting is quite so crucial in the early stages of the game, and of course throughout the game, so you can keep tabs on your opponent's expansion, their possible change in unit composition, and where their armies are mobilizing at any given time, along with their economy and locations of their commanders. All of this information is vital if you would like to win the game. Again, so I say here we can see some sea energy plants. Kind of obsolete there because it's so close to the mechs points. You may as well have built it on the peninsula and make this whole peninsula an energy production facility. It seems as though they haven't quite opted for that. Here though, this is almost finished, so maybe we'll see some T2 engineers coming out very soon, just like we do over here, getting this early energy, Tech 2 energy going up, and even more metal storage over here. This is very unusual, and unfortunately I don't have the statistics to let me know whether it works or not, but if it does, then of course it'll be very good. And this actually does seem to be going up reasonably rapidly, so we've got to give it credit for that. So that'll provide them a massive boost in their econ, getting a second T2 fabricator out, so they're going to go for the higher end units earlier on in the game, continuing to expand up here, requiring the metal sites. Again, I'm sorry for not knowing whose commander's whose, but they have not yet replied. And this scout coming out here so that they can see this air factory, and now they will want to produce maybe a bit of anti-air from these factories, or maybe even some anti-air positions. But definitely would like to build some form of defensive line down here, especially if they're expanding to those metal sites, because that is quite so close. And if I'm honest, I'd call that one whole metal site, because you can bunker down there and really defend that really quite well. These three ants here are going to come in and defend this until it's built and got some defensive viability. I mean, you do have the commander there, but if air did come in, I mean, don't forget Orange has not yet scouted, so they are unsure as to whether the commander is in danger from an air assault. Over here we have three fabricators who are going to die by these three ants. It seems a pity to waste those quite so early on. Maybe they were going to have a scout, maybe build some form of artillery or radar on the other side of this body of water. But now we shall never know. And a lone pelter here, not defended by anything else, and unfortunately not in range of anything either. Pelters are only really good against stationary targets, because they don't have that tracking ability yet. Maybe we'll see that later on, maybe we will not. Over here we've got some advanced metal extractors going up from these tier 2 bot fabricators being produced by Team Orange, so and even more coming on the way in terms of the fabricators, and another advanced vehicle factory there. So all of this is going to start producing their military, and hopefully with any luck start to form some aggressive stances, because they really need to start getting a handle on Team Black's expansion up north. I mean, Team Black hasn't defended this area, so maybe a little flank round here would take out this very, very easily. Other than that, you've got more tier 2 energy, a lot of it going up at the moment. Not a lot of tier 2 metal though, only 3 sites of that so far, although actually in the grand scheme of things that is quite a lot, so my mistake there. So 4 tier 2 energy and 3 tier 2 metal at this point is pretty decent in the game, and especially 2 vehicle factories is also very good, now that one is producing levelers and the other is continuing to pump out fabricators. So those maybe will go and assist, or maybe continue to expand in terms of metal. But these commanders now going to get down here and building some Tech 2 radar, so they can really start to get a handle on this entire area here and see whether Orange is moving out. Don't forget, Orange has got no intelligence on Black whatsoever at this point. Though they are attempting to start getting some economic viability here, and they have started defending this region, including getting some laser defense and anti-air defense, and getting some bombers as well. So that is going to start posing a threat for Team Black, especially if they do not get some anti-air up, and it appears they have no form of air defense at this time, because ants can shoot air, but they have levelers, and I am unsure as to whether levelers can with any decent level of accuracy. But but another tier 2 factory is going up, and these levelers are going to start pumping out very rapidly, especially with this build, which is quite viable for this leveler assault, but they do produce very slowly. So it'll all depend on whether Orange can actually work together here to pull something out of the hat to get their military production actually kick-started, rather than going for sort of the approach which it appears to be at the moment, which is a sort of build every factory and see what we have, rather than actually trying to nab the commander. I mean, I have to say, I foresee Team Black winning this very soon, especially given this scout is here, seeing there's no defense here, only a few spinners just sitting around idly, sort of waiting for not a lot to happen. So again, we'll just have to see what happens in that regard. Commander's sitting here idle. I don't know where the other commander's gone. Actually, no, he's still down here building the laser defense, and we can still see these ants just rolling out ever so slowly now, but the production speed on these is ridiculously quite slow at the moment, because you've got these assisting, you've got a lobber being built, you've got so much production going on and not a whole amount of economy buildings, which is going to put Team Orange at something of a disadvantage, especially given you have 6 levelers here. All these levelers need to do is move out, and they will crush this Orange base, or at least a substantial part of it, especially if they get a move on. And those spinners are going to nab that scout before they get too close to the base to see that there isn't quite so much as they thought they were. And so I wouldn't be surprised if soon we start to see these levelers mobilizing. Maybe when they have 8 or 10 levelers, they'll start to push out, and we'll actually see a lot going on. But all we can see Black doing, other than those levelers, is just getting fabricator after fabricator. I mean, something I haven't seen very often is fabricator spam. I mean, you know, assisting everything everywhere. I mean, yeah, it's going to go up fast if you have the econ, but I'm not sure quite how much of it is supported, given that you have all of these tier 2 factories producing things and a lot of units building things at the same time. Although we do have all this continued expansion around the other side of the planets, which Orange does not know about, so maybe Team Orange here is really in a dire situation. Honestly, at this stage in the alpha, I would discourage anyone from going naval. Unless you know for certain that there is a choke point that a body of water overlooks, at which point maybe the naval does become viable, because it can provide a good defense for that choke point. Now we have 9, 10, 11 levelers now, and yes, we do see them moving out with some shellers as well. Actually, I didn't see those, I mistook those icons for fabricators. It's interesting how we don't see these levelers moving out with them as well, and that'll be just been reclaimed so that they can get a tier 2 going on all of these mass sites, so that Commander is going to walk around and do all of that gradually. And this catapult is going to keep putting pressure on this now. This bomber is going to move out, he is going to get taken, and that has just confirmed to me that the levelers can shoot air, and they are going to make short work of those spinners the moment they move out of water. In fact, they don't even need to move out of the water. Levelers one-shotting these, and if they can stay a reasonable distance away from that commander is going to be toast in 3, 2, 1, and boom. Hopefully the levelers aren't too close. Indeed they are. That is a mistake on their part. Now we just have shellers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levelers, 6 in fact, and yeah, as I say, the shellers, the levelers, the catapult. Maybe time to really start to work into this orange base over here, because this commander is very exposed, spending a lot of time building this lobber, and if I'm honest, it looks as though Team Orange economy has completely stalled. I mean, look at the build speed of this, that is ridiculously slow. And even a commander building a lobber, there doesn't seem to be anything going on there, which is even more indicating of, or evident I guess, of a dodgy economy. And this has been building for so long now and hasn't even started to show the little yellow fusion line, I guess I'll call it from now on, going up the side. So that has got plenty of time left. Team Orange really getting their act together on this one. His spinners moving out for not a lot. I think maybe there's a little bit of disagreement on the Orange team, and maybe Team Black is in a team speak together. And it does look quite that way because there's a lot of organisation on Team Black, or at least it appears so from the spectator's perspective. So I guess this shoutcast has served for two things. You can see the importance of collaboration and of economy and of intelligence and of early builds and of defense as well, I guess. I'm going to test free cam here. I hope it works. I am not yet sure quite how it works, so we'll just have to see. In fact, there we go. I don't know how to zoom in and out of free cam at once, so we'll just have to maybe stay at this height for now while these levelers do come into this base now. And it is only a matter of time before they find that commander who has managed to wander off now, maybe trying to escape. In fact, I wonder where the commander has gone to, because he must have left rather rapidly as soon as those levelers were on the horizon, and this is going to be the end of Orange Base, and the commander has disappeared completely. Let us just go back to normal and see where he is. In fact, he's legged it right into the middle of this body of water here, so it's just going to be a matter of time now before this game is over, and I do believe the end of Orange is pretty much with us now. I mean, you've got levelers everywhere, you've got an Orange commander sitting idle in the middle of the ocean who can't do anything, the Econ's dead. Team Black has got control over the rest of the planet. They're just going to go down here and sweep up the remaining half-decent economy. But this is quite obvious why everything in Orange was building so slow, because they were overproducing. They weren't looking at their economy at all, really, and that quite possibly cost them a game, along with their coordination. I mean, here these levelers are now going to find this commander very soon, I hope. And they should be able to, there we go, take out that thing. And the commander is going to go in for a suicide. This is going to be the end of this commander. Not too long now at all. Actually, those levelers are not hitting the commander. They really want to start moving, because it is obvious the commander is not taking any damage from this. The thing is, all the other levelers should start to move in now. Ah, okay, so R zooms out. This is good. Now I just need to find what zooms in. In fact, F zooms in. Okay, so F and R to zoom in and out. Well, hey, everyone learns something every day. Every new per day. What? New every day. Just a case of getting used to this now. And it is going to be a matter of time before this commander is taken out now. In fact, he will die in very short amount of time. 3-1, and boom! There he goes. That is the game. Well done, Team Black. Commiserations, Team Orange. And I hope you viewers have learned something from this and taken something away from it. Thank you very much for watching. I will be returning to you very soon with hopefully some more ladder games, maybe some more casuals that are just, you know, me hopping in a server and say, hey, you know, do you like your game casted, this sort of thing. And if you are playing Planetary Annihilation, the alpha, and you do see me in a server, do hop in and, you know, ask what's going on. Maybe you'll get your game casted and then check back, and you never know, it might appear on this channel for you to share to all of your friends and say, hey, look how awesomely I did. Or share to your friends and say, hey, look at this awesome medal, we didn't quite win, but it was a really exciting one. So let's see you then, and thank you again for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, ask a question, whatever. Subscribe for more coming your way very soon, and have a nice day. See you next time.